young and you're more idealistic. I'm still very idealistic.
Mm.
But and also really wanting to do the right thing.
Me too.
Me too.
I'm very idealistic. I don't
Uh,
apologize for it. So what happened? Eventually you go back and the Iraq
yeah,
War
so
is in full swing.
full swing. We watched it in the Op Center live on CNN, and that was wild. Um, and so yeah, I go back to again, I'm not sure if it was OIA, Office of Iraq Analysis at the time, and ubiquitous they put me on emerging Sunni political issues, which was like that skit in The Life of Brian by Monty Python, where they're at the auditorium, the Colosseum, and there's all the different political groups, right? And you've got the People's Front of Judea and the Judean People's Front, and they're two different groups. That was basically watching the Sunnis try to get their act together. And um, I one thing about the Iraq thing that I think was hard for me, I didn't realize at the time, but I'm a highly sensitive person. And we're working a war, and there's a lot of death, and there's a lot of destruction. And I didn't realize it at the time, but now I reflect back and I think, oh, that was a little too much for me without having or knowing that I even needed emotional or like maybe even like therapeutic support. I think some people are a little more hardened to that, and I was having a hard time with these like morning meetings where every morning it would be these many American soldiers died and these many Iraqis died and we had a bombing and IED or improvised explosive
Right.
device here and um I think that one, I don't think my personality was quite compatible for that, and two, I don't think that I had the support that I needed to be able to be in that environment. And I didn't think that I didn't even think to look for it, which was my own
Well,
thing. I don't know.
nor did anybody at the agency at the time. When you joined the agency, I've been working there for 23, 24 years. And the idea that people might be affected emotionally by this kind of work, I don't think had really crossed many people's mind.
Mm,
I'm sure it had crossed someone's mind, but not many people's mind. And the ethic at the CIA, which was, mostly masculine at the time, although rapidly changing, at least in terms of the actual people, the ethic was, you're just a tough guy. And I
hmm
remember when I, would talk to people of the generation before me who had served in Vietnam, and they told stories about being in Laos or Cambodia or whatever. What they would mostly talk about is how good the bird watching was. It was like, you know, they would just like this other stuff, it's just stuff that happens.
Compartmentalization
Yeah,
skills.
but the
Yeah.
part
Yeah.
I really enjoyed was bird watching, and in Laos and Cambodia.